Welcome in today on 8 Guest TV, a preview of Mr. Harriton 2017. Harriton basketball makes it into the playoffs in thrilling fashion, and a Black History Month activity video. That's all right now, live from the Harriton High School Auditorium, site of tonight's 10th annual Mr. Harriton competition. This is the Ram Report with Ben Feldman and Nick Merriam here inside the Harriton lobby.
Hello, I'm Ben Feldman.
Along with Nick Merriam.
For today's Ram Report, as you might have noticed, this isn't our usual location, because tonight is a very special event. That's right, tonight is Mr. Harriton.
Mr. Harriton is the biggest event put on by Student Council all year. You can think of it as a talent show for upperclassmen boys. They were selected, 10 of them were selected, and have been practicing tirelessly for months, all for your enjoyment.
Well, and for charity, of course. All of Mr. Harriton proceeds go to charities, including the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. This year, the goal is $25,000. And although that might seem impossible for a high school to raise, the officers are confident that with your help, they can achieve that goal. We're joined here today live with John Diamond Rivich, your vice president. John, do you think that we can reach that $25,000 goal?
You know, last year when we all said 25,000, it seemed like a big task, but I mean, throughout this year, we've been able to raise a lot of money, so we're pretty confident. I think we're about somewhere around like 23,000 right now. I don't know the specifics off the top of my head, but I mean, the last 2,000, if it comes tonight, I think we can definitely do it. That comes through people bidding on raffle baskets, people buying concessions, buying the artwork that you see backstage there, and especially during intermission, placing donations in the buckets. So, I mean, we really need one last push, but I think we can really get there.
Well, I think the $25,000 goal is very attainable. You know, last year we raised $19,000 to $20,000. Right now we're about at $23,000. So through like concessions, the art, all the t-shirt sales, I think we're going to be able to hit the $25,000 goal.
Yeah, most of our fundraising comes before the show, obviously, through ticket sales and selling other advertisements, but a lot of it comes tonight. So for anyone out there who's watching who's come to the show, this is really the final push for everyone. So please feel free to buy a shirt, buy some food, make a donation in one of the buckets. I really want this $25,000 not to be just a student council thing, but a goal that all of Harriton can be proud of. So please help out, donate if you can.
And we really have spectacular causes. Tonight, doors open at 5:30, where we have our silent auction and concessions will be sold. And so bring money for concessions for the silent auction, $10 for a t-shirt, and yeah.
And have we sold out on the tickets so far?
So matter of fact, we have the final 2 tickets here for the Mr. Harriton show. If you feel like you missed out and didn't get to purchase a ticket, we'll be waiting at the Ram for the first 2 people to come down with $15 to purchase the last 2 tickets.
And do you guys have anything important to say to the student body overall?
Just get ready for the party of the decade, Harriton. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
All right, and what follows at this point is a promotional video for Mr. Harriton. All right. Now we'll move over to an interview with your head choreographer.
I'm here with Anna, a choreographer for the show. Anna, what's going to be different about this year's show?
There's actually a lot of things we decided to change this year that was kind of the same for the past 10 years. We decided for the 10th, big celebration, so we changed up some traditional things that you guys are going to see if you come to the show tonight.
And anything else you have to say for the student body?
Please do come out. It's tons of fun. All of the guys have worked super hard. It's awesome. So yeah.
We're going to go over to Ben.
It would appear that the people are here. Let's see who's going to get the ticket. Turn to the camera.
We're letting the first one in right now. Who is the second one here? This is the first winner of one of the last Mr. Harriton tickets. There you go.
Mr. Harriton is now sold out.
One more ticket.
Where's one more ticket? Okay, we're going to play a video of basketball. Wait, okay, you're Nick, you talk.
Yeah, we're going to play a basketball video. Last Wednesday, the Rams had their playoff game. Unfortunately, fell to a very good Pencrest team on the road. We're going to pick this up. This is a game against Strathaven on senior night at home. A win would get the Rams to the playoffs. They are in overtime, and this is me and Ricky on the call.
No, you're so...
Graves inside, I can't get it, and it's taken by Idris Ransom with the ball. He's going down the court. He doesn't put it in, but it is Lance Chestnut who puts it in. Back to Esposito, almost taken by Fago. Esposito gives the Rams the lead with 1:07 remaining. So now, Will Esposito. He does! He makes it a 3-point game! Rams up by 3! Rams up by 3. 16, 15, too long, 2. Puts it in. It's a 1-point game. It's a 2-point lead. He makes it. It's a 2-point lead for the Rams. Damage needs to be prevented from happening because it's only a 2-point game. And it's a 2-point game on senior night. Morris to inbound. They've added a few seconds. There's now 6 seconds left. Over, and it's pushed away by DeMarcus Johnson. Feezy has the ball, 2-1.
This is to win it.
Rams are gonna win. Rams are gonna win. Rams are gonna win. Point 7. Rams are gonna win. It's over. It's over. Saturday fans storm the court. It's over. Rams are going to the playoffs in 2017. Rams win. Rams win. Rams win. Rams win it 57-6 to 52.
All right. In an interesting turn of events, there is in fact one ticket left. So the announcement continues to everybody. If you still have $15 and you want the ticket, this is the very last one. So come to the Ram, and the officers will be waiting to sell it. And at this point, this is the last Ram report of Black History Month. So we are going to show you a video relating to Black History Month as follows.
They say imitation is the highest form of flattery, but what happens when it's not so flattering? The more you learn about the world and the people in it, you quickly realize just how beautiful and diverse it is. So where's the line between cultural exchange, appreciation, and appropriation? And why does it even matter? Here are 7 myths about cultural appropriation debunked. You're just looking for something to be offended by. It's just clothing, hairstyles, decorations, whatever. Don't you have something better to worry about? Okay, first off, it's possible to care about more than one issue at a time. The main problem with cultural appropriation comes from dominant groups borrowing from marginalized groups who face oppression or have been stigmatized for their cultural practices throughout history. Like cornrows. I mean, anyone can wear their hair in cornrows, but Black people still face stigmas for wearing them along with perfectly natural hairstyles like braids and locks. There are even companies and schools that prohibit these natural hairstyles. People have actually been fired for wearing braids. Meanwhile, fashion models and celebs like Kylie Jenner get praised for wearing cornrows. And that's the main point. One group is being penalized by institutions for wearing natural hairstyles, while the other is called edgy and stylish for doing the exact same thing. I'm doing it because I think it's beautiful and exotic. I'm just showing appreciation for the culture. Look, it's great that you find another group's culture beautiful, but in order to show you truly love it, you need to have respect and understanding. Take, for example, tribal tattoos. The Maori of New Zealand have facial tattoos with deep family meaning and cultural significance. But fashion designer Jean-Paul Gaultier used the tattoos in ads to sell sunglasses. And that's a perfect example of cultural appropriation. No matter how much the designer liked the look, he stripped the tattoo of all of its cultural meaning just to sell a product. Now, if you really appreciate something, you should respect it instead of assuming you can use it however you want. Well, I don't find it offensive, and I asked someone from that culture and they said it was okay. Well, it's not your culture that's being disrespected, so sure, you don't find it offensive. And if you know someone from that background who doesn't mind your tattoo, costume, or whatever, that's cool. But remember that one person doesn't speak for all members of that community. Whatever, fashion, art, film, music always borrows from other sources. Plus, it doesn't hurt anyone. Sure, cultural exchange has been going on since the beginning of time. But exchange is mutual and needs to be done respectfully. A couple years ago, Katy Perry did a geisha-themed performance with Japanese women dancing in the background. Not only was it super stereotypical, her outfit wasn't even from the right country. The Japanese American Citizens League said it best. The thoughtless costuming and dance routines by Katy Perry played carelessly with stereotypes in an attempt to create a Japanese aesthetic. And that kind of crushes the idea that appropriation is harmless. You're just trying to tell everyone what to think. Hello, thought police. Have you ever heard of the First Amendment? Nobody's telling you what to think, wear, or say. Marginalized people can't stop you from doing your thing, even if they wanted to. But if you think you have the right to use any cultural tradition just cause, that's where you get into oppressive territory. And if you genuinely don't care if someone is hurt by your appropriation, that's just crappy. So because I'm white, I'm automatically racist. And if I wear this clothing, I'm even more racist. This isn't about beating up on white people. Anyone can appropriate elements of marginalized cultures. Heck, Pharrell even made the mistake of wearing a Native American headdress on the cover of Elle magazine. And after getting some much-deserved flack, he actually issued an apology. If Chinese people wear blue jeans, aren't they appropriating my culture? Or what about black girls wearing blonde weaves? Or how about speaking English? Okay, this is a tough one. Assimilation and appropriation aren't the same thing. Marginalized people conforming to standards set by dominant, or in this case, Western cultures, is often a means of survival. When your cultural heritage is looked down on, often people change or hide things about themselves in order to be accepted by majority culture. For example, there are schools where students have been punished or even suspended for speaking Spanish or indigenous languages. So there are people who are literally being forced to assimilate or else. So it's not really a fair comparison. So you're saying I should never enjoy another culture? That's not fair. Not at all. For example, say you're invited to an Indian wedding and you're not Indian. Wearing a traditional sari or getting henna would be a great example of cultural exchange. You're being invited to participate and enjoy the culture instead of just picking and choosing parts of it for yourself. You can also travel, take cooking classes, read books, listen to music, and visit museums if you really want to learn about and enjoy other cultures. Here's the thing. Cultural appropriation is about a privileged group misrepresenting and disrespecting marginalized cultures. The originators rarely get credit, but always deal with the consequences. The goal isn't to shame you out of wearing or enjoying certain things, but listening to the people from the culture you're interested in shows you have a genuine love, respect, and understanding for something that's not your own. So what are some misconceptions you've heard about cultural appropriation? Or maybe you had some misunderstandings yourself? Tell us in the comments below, and we'll see you next week here on Decoded. In our last vlog, we talked about student loan debt with Ben O'Keefe. Here's what you had to say. Oh, Shokahase, you don't have to pay for college? Way to rub it in. No, really, I wish we did that here. You know, Andrea, free college would be awesome, but I will totally settle for affordable and no crushing debt. Actually, Assassin Surreal, I use the skills I learned getting my degree almost every single day, but trade school is a great option for lots of people. Our last sketch was all about white-splaining, and since I have the talking stick, I'm gonna respond to your comments. You know what, Paul? I agree with you. Everyone should have equal freedom of speech no matter their skin color, but that's not what our video was about. It's about not talking over people because that's rude. Ever heard of being rude? Thanks, BGC. I'm really glad you enjoyed it, and keep watching, because you might like the next one. Oh, Antoine, a YouTube Oscars would be awesome. Not just because you think we would win, but because I just want to get dressed up.
And as we encouraged earlier, we do have the final ticket sale for you live on the Ram Report. All right, and what's your name?
Jasper.
And how does it feel to have the last Mr. Harriton ticket?
Like I'm not missing out, so that's good.
All right.
And that'll be all for today's show. Signing off, this is Nick Merriam.
And Ben Feldman.
From all of us here at HHS TV, please enjoy the party.